Hello again, my friends, and you are my friend, and it's Wednesday. It is your Matchday preview show. I am your host, the Gov. Looking forward to the next half an hour or so of talking about the world's most famous football team. That is, of course, Ipswich Town F.C. If you're joining us live or on catch up, and you're here for the Brandon Williams conversation, we're gonna try and let the club announce the signing. Because nothing has been announced yet. I know as much as you do. So we'll try and put it towards the back end of the show. And then hopefully at some point, should it come out active, should it come live, we'll of course then discuss it, chew over the fat and drop a link, and you can have your say on the possible signing. We welcome all the comments on it anyway, whether it's live or on catch up. I'll set a like target of 100. You've been absolutely smashing the like target recently, so I do expect another like target to be well and truly smashed. 100 likes. If you're new here, subscribe. It is the fan platform for fans by fans, where you can get involved via the live chat, via the catch up messaging service, but of course via the live link, and you can set the narrative really of what we talk about for the next half an hour or so, because the comments in the chat is something we thrive off, we use. So do get active in that live chat. Get your thoughts, your feelings down in only the way you can, because only you know really what you're thinking about your football team. Billy Dalton starts, have you seen Alex Griffin's music video? We certainly have, and of course it is in aid of the foundation. Well, all proceeds, I believe, are going to the foundation, so great gesture by Alex, and go and give it a listen. I think it's on his YouTube page. I'm not quite sure. It was sent to me via WhatsApp, so apologies for not having that information to you. I will find out for sure before the end of the show. But yes, go and give it a listen. Give it a like and all of that different jazz. Colin says we are top of the league. Say we are top of the league. Nice to see you, Colin. Mr. Town says, hello, good evening. Wonder where Williams will start. I'm going to start that message. We'll come back to that when we have it. Crunches wants 300 likes. I've set a very low bar of 100. I know you're going to smash it. Let's see if we can get anywhere between the two. If we can get 400, we'll be in absolute seventh heaven. Reading tickets are being released tomorrow, or should I say more Reading tickets are being released tomorrow after it's sold out. So how many are going? Let us know in the chat. If you're going to be going to Reading, I won't be one of them. No interest in going to Reading ever again. Paul Smith, good evening, everybody. What about Dan's commit to Portman Road, Southampton? Absolutely great question. I'll pose that to my contributor, Flynn Down, signing for Southampton on, I believe it's on loan. I don't think it's a permanent. I've been really fixating on this Brandon Williams deal, to be honest with you. So I'm looking forward to seeing it announced. Should we get it over the line? They're in talks. They've been in talks for quite a while. Ben Hobbs, hope so, Jacob, but someone will be holding it up. He's got his ticket for Reading. Beautiful. Right. With me this evening is somebody I've not seen since Exeter. We left on good terms. We left on good vibes. Back on the platform. Let's get his big fish. Tom Jane.
I think the squad of 24-25 that we've got are good enough to do something in this league.
What an afternoon stroke evening that was, Tom. At Exeter. I've not seen you since, but the good times have continued to roll. How are you feeling now about your football team?
Really good. I mean, I can't complain. Yeah, that was one of the best days of my life last time I saw you. So, yeah, it was perfect. But yeah, love the start of the season. I think we all have, haven't we? It's been
beautiful, isn't it?
It's been beautiful.
It's been beautiful. Yeah. But since April, every time I've seen you, we've won. Peterborough, we won. Exeter, we won. Hopefully, you're a good omen. I'm seeing you now, and hopefully we'll be having another 3 points on Saturday, 3 p.m. at Portman Road.
Yeah, I hope so. We were both at Barnsley, despite not seeing each other as well. So
there you go. In the same space. So there you go. See, the good times, the omens, they keep on rolling. And obviously, Leeds up next. Woody Wood says Leeds tickets were in a heartbeat. The Reading tickets have gone in a heartbeat. Every away game is sold out in a heartbeat. Just a phenomenal appetite around the football club right now, isn't there?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, I'm really, really enthused by it all. And yeah, it's great to see everyone happy. Like selling out Reading for a round 2 cup game is bizarre. Like I like it's great, but it's just really bizarre. That wouldn't have happened 2 years ago. Like a lot wouldn't have happened 2 years ago, to be honest. So yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm going to pose the question that you see often on social media. As I say, we like to give the fans their voice, and I like to sort of echo the conversations people are having in pubs, in the living rooms, on social media. Has it sold out just for the points?
I have read that as well, and that's not for me to say. I'm not going to get enough points to get to any of the big games. So if that's what people have got to do to get to Norwich or any of the other big ones, and follow the rules, do what you have to do. I guess it's like you're not bending or breaking any rules, and it's on the club.
Yeah, absolutely. Sam says Williams is a decent signing, but I doubt he thinks he doubts we'll sign them. He's on 65 grand a week at the moment. Obviously, I've got my phone perched just under. You can't see it here, but it's just here. Literally, I'm refreshing it like I'm waiting for the winning lottery ticket to just confirm that I've won the six numbers.
65 grand a week, really?
I don't get involved with all that. I don't know. I don't particularly. And it ain't my money. Like, if you want to pay him 100 grand, I'm not advocating they're going to pay him 100 grand, but it ain't my money. Like,
even as like a rumor, that's insane for him.
Yeah, but it's a bit like it's a bit like you giving me your credit card and saying go to Tesco's. Like, I'm just going to go mad. Like, supermarket
65 pence a week over here.
Well, this is it. Do you know what I saw on TikTok earlier today? The Nottingham sandwich. Obviously, you live in Nottingham, and it was a tiger bit of bread. So 2 slices of tiger bread, bacon done dead crispy with brown sauce. Would you say that is the sandwich of Nottingham?
I've never heard of that in my life. And brown sauce is disgusting. So, yeah. All about the red. But yeah, I've never seen that. Living around here, they call it a balm or a cob round here. They don't call it a sandwich. So
do they not?
Yeah, I don't like that. I stick to my roots and call it a sandwich. But
sandwich is a sandwich, mate. Ian Davis, people are buying tickets with no intention of going. It's denying other fans who can't get a ticket the chance to go. Is that what we've become? Is that what the system's become? I'm going to counter that point with, because points mean prizes mean points, and do what you got to do, I guess, isn't it?
It's a system, yeah. And if people are fortunate enough to be able to game it in a way that basically they're spending more of their own money to ensure they get to do something, which, it's not equal in terms of that side of it. But I guess if you have to get the points by paying the money, then yeah.
There you go. You're adoring public are already on the phone. That might even be Mark Ashton, letting you know that we've confirmed the signing of Brandon Williams. I don't know. We just don't know who is on the end of that phone, Tom.
Yeah,
we're all waiting with bated breath. But Colin thinks Williams will be an excellent signing. It's not been confirmed, but we'll come to Williams in a moment. First of all, Hladky, great start to the season. Phenomenal start to the season, really. When Walton went down, many were questioning whether the club went into the market, got a goalkeeper. Would Hladky be the good enough option? He stepped up and then some. But I think he's got a sort of, this is his last year of his deal. At what point do you think you look at that and you issue a new contract? Like, it's been 3 games. It is still early doors, but Mark Ashton's in asset protection, a bit like fans are in point protection, I guess. And do you offer him the deal after 5 games, 10 games? Do you just let it play out? Where are you on that? He's had a phenomenal start to the campaign.
No, he's really good and has fitted into the system really, really well. But yeah, I think it kind of sits with Hladky really at the minute. Like, he's the one who he's going to be looking for a last contract, isn't he? Wow, how old is he now? 31, 32 perhaps. So if he can get a 3-year deal as a goalkeeper, played to 35, but still a good age, then he might not want to sign a 1-year deal with Town, and we'd probably have to accept, even though we're in a good spot, another championship club might give him security for the future. So it's probably Vass is holding the cards, as well as a lot more at the minute. So
absolutely, yeah. There are his season stats so far: 7.5 average score from SofaScore. Games played 90, goals prevented 2.33, saves 9, saves from inside the box 6, saves per game 3, touches 45.7 with an accurate pass completion rate of 74%. And that's something that I've really slept on Hladky over: his composure with the ball, his bravery with the ball. McKenna is often, I believe, quoted in saying, he's a really good football player, one of the best in terms of ball at his feet. Or I've certainly seen fans say that about him. I just hadn't seen it firsthand, so I slept on it, Tom. I'm going to be brutally honest, and he's really impressed me in that regard. His shot stopping has always been known. Golden Glove winner at Salford. We knew what we were getting when we signed him from Salford. but his ability with the ball has been just phenomenal, and his bravery, wow.
Yeah, definitely seems more composed on the ball than Walton, for example. But yeah, we can't forget Walton is coming back at some point, and it doesn't mean he's going to walk straight in the team. But yeah, we've got two very good keepers, and we're quite fortunate in that respect that probably forgot about Vass for most of last season, and then he comes on for 6 minutes at the end of the Exeter game. Then we go, oh yeah, Vass is here. But yeah, he's excellent second choice keeper, now first choice,
Really
and
excellent.
yeah, it's like I said, I just think it's in his hands at the minute. It's just he can probably wait till January. We could offer him something, and he'll say, "Well, I'll see if you're going to put Christian back in or not, or if you're actually going to put me as your number one."
Yeah, and Mr. Ipswich Town says the lad could be amazing. Oh, he wouldn't. Mr. Ipswich Town wouldn't change him when Walton returns, and some fans, are very similar to that. I agree with that. There is that competition, which is what you want throughout the squad, and it's because a goalkeeper is that one man position only. It's very hard. If it was a striker, you could maybe accommodate the returning player. You could get them equal minutes. You could sort something out. But a goalkeeper very much is obviously still that traditional 90 minutes. You ain't coming out other for cup games if you're the number one. And it's very difficult. That's why Hladky's had to wait such a long time to get that chance back, as we say. And yeah, it is in his hands. But in a world where contracts don't mean as much as perhaps they used to, if you sign a new deal, doesn't automatically disqualify you from being sold. Asset protection. I think a deal probably does get done. I think a deal, but if that's something that both parties agree to. But it's an interesting one to develop and monitor, and long may it continue, because the better he does, the better the football club does naturally in the position he's in, right?
Yeah, definitely. For people who were saying that he shouldn't be dropped, I agree with that. Walton hasn't played for us in the Championship yet, and we've won 3 games in the Championship. It's not all down to him not being there. It's a case of we've got a settled team. Hladky's part of that team. Why would you change it? So it's that logic as he stays. Same with Luongo. Like, people thought Taylor was just going to come in. No, he's not coming in yet, even though I think he'll be a good player for us. But you don't change a good team like this at the minute.
Don't start me. I am driving the Jack Taylor hype train. I am ready for this to take off. Don't start me already. All right. I've just simmered down because Massimo has, kept his place and been phenomenal. So I've just had to sort of pull back on the hype train reins a little bit. But I'm ready for that.
I've wanted to sign Taylor for 2 years, and I was really happy when we got him, but he's got to wait his turn, I'm afraid.
Hladky's been great, says Max, but it's only been 3 games. Sort of a new contract is a bit premature. Jacob McKenna will bring Walton straight back in. I think, even though I don't necessarily agree with it, both great keepers, so no complaints. And Harps, with the great comment on the situation, definitely put himself in the window. Leif Davis, left back at Town. Brandon Williams can play left back, can play right back. If Brandon Williams arrives, obviously Greg Lee may depart out on loan. We've been reading. We'll come to sort of the player Brandon Williams in a moment, but Leif Davis's start to the season and his contribution are now on the screen, and it's been sort of business as usual with Leif, obviously, who plays against his old team Saturday in Leeds United. Will be eager to show what they've lost. Total played 2, touches, that should be 3. That's my fault. That's me. Touches 54, accurate passes 78, key passes 2, shots per game 1.5, tackles per game 3, assists 1, possession loss 15. I will just check that to make sure it is correct, and I haven't uploaded the wrong graphic. But either way, whether I've got lazy, made mistakes, this is a man that never gets lazy, never makes mistakes. He is phenomenal.
He's our biggest asset at the minute. And apart from McKenna, I mean, McKenna's incredible, but as on the playing side, Leif is the one that I think will be the one sold for the most money. He'll probably be ready for the Prem next year onwards, I would reckon, at least for a lower end team, but he's got potential to go higher, I think. There's similarities to Cresswell, isn't there, in that respect? But for what he did for us, but yeah, just a much higher price. I think it's great.
Yep. All right.
I'm happy we still got him.
Yeah, I am. And I said when I first saw him, I think he'd be better now in Cresswell. And I still stand by that. Well and truly stand by that. And yeah, unlike Leif, Gov got lazy. Total played 3. That's last week's graphic, not this week's graphic. Assists 1, touches 62.7, big chances created 1, key passes 3, an 81% accurate completion rate per game, 1.7 interceptions per game. So unlike Leif, Gov got lazy. You can all have a go at me in the chat. It is unacceptable behaviour. I will not do that anymore the rest of the season. He says, touching wood, desperately clinging on to Wood because he knows he probably will. But he's just been phenomenal. And you can't really put how phenomenal he's been into words other than saying phenomenal, can you? Because he's just, I don't think even the most optimistic of Town fans would have really put the contribution he's put out as one that you would have expected.
I expected it from him this
season.
Did
you really?
Yeah, he's a championship player already. I didn't know much about him when we signed him from Leeds, and he came with Bielsa coaching behind him, but he's just got fitter and fitter, and yeah, it's just been great. But he's made that step up seamlessly. I think a few of them can do it, but he's done it like effortlessly, I'd say. So yeah, he's the one for me.
Yeah, Stephen Perry, creative attacking players who can score always worth more than creative defenders. Norman says Sadie Davis with the first we said that we don't want to go. Lee for a million says Jacob was an absolute steal, and it was an absolute steal. And I'm really looking forward to him Saturday showing Leeds just how much of a thing they've lost out on. Mr. Chan says, P.S. Fine changed my thumbnail. Sorry, Mr. Lambert, double pun. Oh, he's changed it to Kieran McKenna. And Joey says Davis will play for England. Well, Leave Davis is an assist machine, but you can also be an assist machine at home by clicking the link and become a Talking Town fifth stunner today and assisting in making the platform for the fans, by the fans, the best platform there is that covers Ipswich Town FC. And if the segue alone isn't worth clicking, Tom, I don't know what is, because I don't know how I come up with that in the spur of the moment.
That was good. Just make sure you're not left back.
Boom!
There you go.
We're here all week. Right, Leeds at the weekend. Look, the last time we played Leeds, do you know what the score was? It was on the 5th of May, 2019.
3-2. Colin Quainer scored for us.
You got it right. I'm going to run through the team, and I want you to tell me just how times have changed. That was me putting my phone down on the desk. That's not my webcam. Trying to check if Brandon Williams is a blue yet or not. This was the team. Bart in goal. Bree, Chambers, who got a red card in this game. Enciala, Kenlock, Downs, Skuse, Shalabar, Dazelle, Colin Quainer, and Alan Judge.
Yeah. Do we need to say much about that? I mean,
it's a vastly different time, right?
Yeah. God, that team got clapped off.
It did. Yeah. It did. Was that the game where they sang "Don't Worry" about a thing?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't at the game, but I think I saw the pictures and
I left early.
Yeah. The fans
we
gave Lambert a lot of love for what he didn't do, but. Yeah, 2 years. What are we on? 4 years on from that now. It's absolutely completely different, and I'm really happy for it because, I'm enjoying supporting this team a lot more than I was back then. When
you look at that team, Bart in goal, Bree, Chambers, Enciala, Kenlock is your back four. I mean, Downs, Skuse, Shalabar, Dazelle is your midfield three, or four, and then Quainer and Judge at the front. I mean, that's just different times, different times, and such a different feeling about the football club, such a different energy, atmosphere, and we've just been relegated. Of course, a different energy, but the fans were accepting of that relegation by that point. But it was all very optimistic. But it's a completely different. I mean, Portman Road in itself is very different. 80 said that day against Leeds been the only game I've left early. How times have changed. They have 80 because I left on the full-time whistle. Now I leave on the 89th minute. Only if the score is by 2 goals or more, Tom. That's a rule I've got, just so I can go and set up for the match reaction show.
Be careful as long as we don't do a Coventry Pablo Canago type thing, but you'll be all right most of the time. You'll get caught once or twice, but you'll be all right.
Most of the time. Cruncher says that was the Birmingham game. Either way, it was a very jubilant atmosphere for a relegated team. If memory serves me correct, I was sat in the now this is something that will never happen again, thankfully. I was sat in the Sir Bobby Robson upper. That's not the bad thing. The bad thing was because they gave the bloomin' cobbled over to the Leeds fans, the whole top row, the top section. That will never happen again, Tom. Or certainly not, hopefully, in my lifetime. Every ticket's gone for Leeds. This is now a sellout, and Leeds have got their little corner.
Yeah, that won't happen again, will it? I've never been to a game and seen that, I think.
Oh, it was awful. It felt like an away game. It was awful. I hated it. Surely those in the chat must remember the times we used to give Leeds the upper section. All right, so we won that day. Here's my team for the weekend. I want you to tell me whether you think I'm right, whether you think I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, will you change it? Or just who you think the key men will be for this game coming up. Here is the team. Let's make us down there. So in goal, here's Haladki, keeping his place. Clark coming in at right back. Wolfenden, Burgess, Davis, Morsey, Luongo, Broadhead, Chaplin, Burns, and Hurst. We'll have more information, hopefully, on Janoi for Friday's show. Obviously, he went off injured. I don't know the latest on that one. But I've just made one change. Brought Harry in for Janoi. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm quite comfortable with that. Yeah, if JD's in again, I won't be that disappointed, but it depends if he's fit. I think we're going to need a bit of energy against Leeds and not hit the ground running just yet, but they have got good players. And yeah, we're going to need a bit of defense-minded right back in there at some point. But yeah, the two of them hopefully can swap in and out, and we're not left with just Don Ball covering that position. But yeah, I ain't got any problems with that team. I think that's good enough. We're at home, we're confident, and yeah, bring it on.
It's one of those paint by numbers situations with the team selection at the moment, which is very sort of unlike McKenna in the early days, or certainly history shown us he likes to sort of rotate early days and keep players fresh and keep game planning for different oppositions. But it's very much you've won 3 games, 4 including the cup. You really want to keep that winning momentum going, obviously. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Like, you know, if you're forced to with the right back, but that ain't a hardship, is it? You know, bringing Harry Clark, who was your starting right back last year, back in for his first start of the year. That's a good place to be, if anything, in the sense of you're not bringing a youth player through or playing a player out of position. It's very much somebody who, had he not been suspended, had he been fit, would have started the year anyway.
Yeah, he definitely would have done. And yeah, whoever plays there as well, like people are saying in the chat as well, is Daniel James on the left. So they've got to be on it, because I think despite them not being too great, he's been one of their brightest sparks, I would say. He's going to be good at this level. So we need Clark to switch on if he is starting, because he will get at him and he will get in behind him as well when Clark is bombing forward. So we're going to have to be on that.
Which obviously, you know, for your first game, when you're managing an Achilles injury, perhaps that's not ideal. But Harry, I believe, is one of those players that will rise to that challenge and really, you know, set that benchmark early in the game of what won't be allowed down his flank. And talking of flanks, we talked about Leif Davis earlier. Luke Ayling is their right back. Luke Ayling, you know, having listened to some Leeds podcasts, good going forward, but very, very susceptible going backwards. I'm really looking forward to that duel. Leif Davis, Luke Ayling. What can Leif Davis get out of Luke Ayling? Can he push him all the way back? Can he make him uncomfortable in those defensive areas? And can he really exploit that?
Yeah, he'll get space. I watched the Leeds Cardiff game, and Cardiff had acres of it when Ayling was pushing forward, and yeah, it was crazy to see, really. Quite the naivety of the Leeds at home, leaving a lot of space in behind, and just it's only because it happened again and again, and you're wondering, all right, this is Luke Ayling. I thought he was a bit better than this, but yeah, I think it'll be good battles on both wings, each side. So I think Davis has got plenty enough in there. Got Broadhead as well to remember, so we've got all of that on the left side against Ayling. I think, yeah, that's going to be our strongest side, I think, against Leeds. So yeah, looks good.
It's going to be an interesting battle, because on paper, you know, Leeds have got some quality players that can really hurt you, that have come down from the Premier League, but you know, off the field, they're a little bit all over the place, still getting their dominoes into position, getting their cards set, whatever sort of gaming analogy you want to come up with while the window is still open. They're very much in flux, but it's on grass that we played on Saturday, and that's the Dan James and co. That's where they'll hurt you. That's where it's going to, you know, really come into it. And it's an interesting battle. And many people are going to sort of walk into it maybe a bit confident. Leeds' start hasn't been great. You know, Michael Brown here is a Leeds fan. I'm a Leeds supporter. From what I'm hearing from the Leeds fan base, they were having to take a point given it's the start of the season. And with Leeds going through a transition period at the moment. Without giving the score prediction just yet, are you expecting a town victory? Would you take a point? Where are you on it?
I wouldn't say I'm expecting it. Do I think we're capable of doing it? Absolutely, yeah. But if it is a point, we are going to draw at some point this season. And yeah, granted, it's at home, it'd be nice to win it, but this would not be the worst result in the world. But yeah, I'll say my prediction for later on. But
All right.
yeah, I will be a bit more optimistic at that point.
All right, well, we're good score predictions now. So here are the score. Oh, hang on, that's not the right one. We'll do the score predictions in just a moment. Before we do have some comments coming in. And the €5 super sticker from David. Thank you very much, David. The feeling from the Leeds fan base, says Michael, is that Leeds there is as a point to prove to Leeds, and we want to show Leeds why they shouldn't have let him go, as we were sort of saying earlier, really, Tom, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Leafs could be bang up for this one. Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait to see what he does. Could be a goal.
Be good. Yeah, it's gonna. I'm looking forward to. I'm just looking forward to the midfield battle again. You know, we had that sort of at the weekend with Morsi and Luongo against the QPR midfield too. Again, I think it will be key in that area where.
Yeah,
if
Ethan
we yeah. Go on.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good signing for them for this level. I think that'll be a good battle in the middle with him and Morsi and Luongo, and I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. I think the game will be won on the wings, but yeah, the battle in the middle is going to be great.
Okay, all right. Well, I haven't got a score prediction graphic, but basically I've said 1-1 and Tuck said 2-1, I believe. They're the two scores this week. What do you think? Because I view it as a tricky game. I want to beat Leeds, believe me, with the family ties. I want to beat Leeds. I've got some family members that are Leeds fans. This is like a Wednesday game for me, Tom. I really want to beat Leeds. Really want to beat Leeds. But I think 1-1. Daniel Farke factor, I just fancy them to get something out of here.
Yeah, I could absolutely see it. I could see a 1-1, but my head's going to say 2-1. Only because they've still not got everyone in that they need. The window's still open. They're in that bit of flux, like you touched on earlier. So I think whilst they're slightly unsettled, we've got an advantage. If we played this 3 weeks after, I think a draw might maybe if they settle down a bit. Farker's got his way of playing, but I think whilst they're on the a bit, then yeah, I want to go for a win. 2-1.
2-1. All right. Parry's gone 1-1, same as me. Crispy T-Bag's gone 2-1 Town, same as you. So as AD, Mo's on 3-2. That's what we usually beat Leeds by. I mean, that bit does think we normally do beat Leeds, even when relegated and a terrible side. We still managed to beat Leeds, who were in the playoffs that year, by the way. 2-2 says Norman. 1-1 says David. Woody says head saying 2-2, heart saying 2-1. Ben always seems to wait till the excitement has died down to announce a signing, like Hurst on a Sunday morning. I tell you what, Ben, if they do a Marcus Harness on me this evening, it's 11 p.m. I am going to go down that football club tomorrow first thing and say, "Oi, give me the public relations department. I've got an issue with this." 11 p.m. that Marcus Harness signing, Tom. It still sits with me. I was in bed.
11 p.m. God, that
might have been
honestly,
10. Either one, I was in bed.
Yeah, I can't remember that summer, to be honest. There was too much going on. It was too overstimulating for me.
I tell you what, if I'm not down there just asking for my views, like the summer they made 22 signings, YouTube thinks I've had some sort of content creators crash. It's like you've produced less videos this summer. Yes, yeah. Thank you, Mark. Give me a signing now. Stephen Parry 1-1. Simon said 2-1. Town, John B says 2-2. Jacob says I'm saying 2-2 or 3-2. Michael's exploit for this match is Daniel Farke's linked to Norwich, which might prove to be an added incentive to Town to get one over on him. Hey, we just dispatched ex-Canary Alex Neil, Tom.
Yeah, we can do it. Yeah, and Farke's not got him going the way he sets his teams up yet. So, yeah, there'll be a lot of pressure on him as well. It's not just us.
Max said he watched Leeds versus West Brom. West Brom, very, very ordinary, and Leeds only just managed a point, weren't great themselves. Hughes trying to get 3 points when they're not in great form, 2-0. Yeah. How's Broadhead's wrists? I don't know is the answer. Hopefully we'll have something on Friday's show. Join us live on Friday for our final look ahead to the weekend. But I don't know is the answer. No, I've not seen anything reported this week. We're not quite there as a club compared to sort of other clubs, I guess, that have got the athletic following and other media hype, like a Leeds, just come down from Premier League, where injuries get sort of analysed to that extent, have we? Where it's, constant or it's even just one article.
I didn't know he had a problem with his wrist. So, yeah, that's news to me. But, yeah, I've not seen it.
Yeah, I did hear that on Saturday evening. I did hear that. I didn't see anything in regards to in the game, unlike Janoi, who obviously went off. But yeah, I've not seen anything.
I heard on Stuart Watson was saying that there's a lot more press coming to see us at the minute, and like the press room is building out a little bit more as we go on this run. So it's quite interesting to see how much more scrutiny we'll get in the games to come if we keep this up, especially if we beat Leeds, because that will send out a fair statement, won't it?
Oh, and when we sign, I don't know, insert player for double-digit figures, that's also going to send the world loop, isn't it? So, I'm trying to speak it into the universe here. And if I speak it into the universe, it will happen. All right, Brandon Williams. No confirmation as yet, but here's what we know so far. Club are in talks with Man United defender Brandon Williams. That was reported last night, Tuesday evening, the 22nd of August. He can play left back. He can play right back. He's, a fairly decent player. Has been at time on loan at Norwich. By what it seems, the Norwich fans aren't bothered he'd be signing for us, from what I can tell on social media. What do you think, Tom, about the potential of Brandon Williams arriving?
Yeah, sounds good. Again, it's one of those that's come just out of nowhere, like yesterday, and it's a bit left field. Literally, here's left field.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a good one. There was an article going around from Man United's article years ago that McKenna's the one who coached him through the academy, and he's obviously knows him that well. And yeah, it seems like a good fit. He's coming into last year of his contract with an option. So if there's a loan to buy, sounds sensible. It could be based on us going up or finishing in a certain place. So
that is the word on the street, that it's a loan with an option to buy, which I do like a bit more than just a loan, because if it means because when it was just a loan, I have to be honest, I was sort of scratching my head a little bit and thinking, he's a left back that's going to sort of replace Greg Lee, who goes to go to Oxford on loan. Is he going to dislodge Leif Davis? Probably not. And is he going to dislodge Harry Clark on the right? Possibly, probably not. But looking at SofaScore very quickly throughout his career, I think he's played something like in total between 20 and 25 games at right back, if that. That was a very quick look at SofaScore, so don't quote me on the actual number. But then I thought, okay, well, let's say he does come in, dislodge Leif Davis. If it's a loan deal, you're pumping up his value for a feed and frenzy next summer. If he dislodges your right back, again, you're pumping up that value for a loan frenzy in the summer. So I really like if it is the element of a option to buy, because that means if he does come in and set the world alight, you've got first dibs.
Yeah, exactly. And Mr. Ashton talks about player trading. If we've got somebody in the building who's ready to sign in a year's time, Leif Davis is a very good footballer and he could go for some money. So we've got to plan a couple of steps ahead on some of these, I reckon. So yeah, it seems like a shrewd bit of business. If he plays well, he can cover both sides. Like we say, Clark, because his Achilles is still a bit of an unknown quantity for us. So he'll give us a bit more going forward than JD as well. But yeah, JD still has a role to play, but it just means he's down the pecking order ever so slightly, perhaps.
Yeah, so basically what you could be seeing is what you suggested is like a succession plan. And, you've got this player coming in who could eventually take the reins over when that player trading model really kicks into gear, which it will do from next summer if Town do well and don't achieve success, which is obviously promotion. You'll see the better players for what I'd imagine is large fees going, because that's the way the model is. You bring them in low, you sell them high, and you start it all over again. So I get what you're saying with that succession plan. I like that. I did do a stat card for Brandon Williams. Here it is. Games. This is while on loan at Norwich 2021-22. Games started 23. Assists 1. Tackles per game 2.1. Interceptions 1.7. Big chances 2. Touches 58.2. And an accurate passes completion rate of 82%. Premier League 21-22. Norwich City loan 6.65. Looking at those stats, does that confirm your thinking? Does it change your thinking? What does it do for you, Tom?
Yeah, granted, it's 2 seasons ago now, so I don't know. Where was he last season? What was he doing? Was he just Man United?
Man United. He played a couple of Europa League games. He may have played in the Champions League, if I remember seeing the stats correctly. But this was a larger body of work, so I wanted to draw upon the larger body to give us a more complete number of that. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, numbers are okay. They're not standout. They're not Leaf
Premier
Davis.
League numbers, though, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, we're Premier League with Norwich as well. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I do sometimes forget they're up there.
Just whisper it. Just whisper. I didn't like writing it. I didn't like writing it.
Yeah. Okay, in that context, yeah, it's not too bad. And he has also played at a high level with United as well, like you say, in the Europa League and in some of the bigger games. So, yeah, it's definitely pedigree there. Coming down to the Championship should be an okay fit based on his body of work. So, yeah, I think it's a good signing. Yeah, it's not one I would have thought about straight away, but, yeah, given the links to McKenna and, yeah, I'm quite content with that. I hope it gets sorted soon.
Jake has put a comment in the chat, and he's added 2 words that really weren't necessary, I don't think, in that season. Could just say Orange were awful, or also Norwich were awful. But he sort of wanted to make sure we all knew it was that season. But yeah, they were. They are. Full stop. They're Norwich. Dave likes his passing accuracy. Spencer, some of the comments on Twitter about Clark and Lee being better than Williams are insane. Norman, they wouldn't be better. They wouldn't beat Davis's numbers. He was playing for a shit side. Harps came on for a short half time expansion. I got 7.4 on sofa score. There you go. There you go. I want to go for the more length of time. I want to get a body of work, so you can try and get a feeling of, every season, every player has the ups and downs, has the development curves, particularly playing in a bad side or a relegated side or a relegation threatened side. So I want to try and get the more complete work. I liked the stats. I have to be honest. If I'm brutally fair, I thought they were good actually for the level, and was looking forward to seeing the player come in and seeing what he can do. Now he's under his old boss, McKenna, and you know what McKenna can get out of players. We know what McKenna can do, and it's just interesting to see where he's in the play. But we've always said on the platform, when the journey starts, sadly you're going to lose some well-liked people along the way, and it looks like Greg Lee, who is a well-liked person, a lot of fans got a lot of feeling for Greg, will be the casualty, if you like, in the sense of if this deal comes in, it'll be Greg moving out on loan to Oxford, we believe. Sad to see Greg go.
Yeah, it's tinged with a bit of sadness, but for him, like as a player as well, it's good for him. He gets to actually kick off again, start somewhere new, hopefully get something like a 2-3 year deal and set himself up for a pretty good career. We know he's absolutely fine at League One level. So yeah, it'll be a nice fit for him under Liam Manning. So he's gonna have a good team to play with as well, kind of like he had here, good style of football. So yeah, I'm pleased. It's sad to see someone go from such an important season for us, and somebody who's such a likable guy as well. I think that's really important and has never let us down ever. Whenever he came off the bench, I'd be like, yeah, happy with that. Like, because what he does in the air as well, a lot of our team can't do. He is so good in the air, and yeah, it doesn't give us the offensiveness, but defensively he's always solid. So yeah, we're going to level up though, which is great for us. And yeah, I think Lee's going to get himself a good club. So for everyone, yeah, I think it's good overall.
In 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, he won't ever make a good piece of business transfer show, or one of the top signings Town ever made transfer show or whatever. But sitting here today, he has been one of the most shrewd piece of businesses that we've done last summer. He came in, a lot of sort of, is he going to be the right fit for what McKenna wants to play? His stats look great, but he's played for a side that's obviously, been relegated or relegation threatened. Interesting to see how this plays out. But he's been a really good player for Ipswich Town in the sense of dependable and solid every time he's called upon. And it's not easy being a stand-in. It's not easy coming in and playing one game here or 2 games and then nothing for several months. It's really difficult and it's really hard. And he's been dependable, Mr. Dependable. And I'm really quite, disappointed he's not going to be a part of the journey moving forward, if you like.
Yeah, it is sad. And it's a credit to him and McKenna, to be honest, to kind of foster that culture of we're all in this together. But for Greg to always, be dependable despite not playing all the time. He gets the cup games now and then, but yeah, it's a good character. And yeah, it's always a shame to lose a good character. Can lose a good player, but luckily we've not got any bad apples in this lot. But you could lose a good player and they're a bit of an arse. But yeah, he's a good guy, a good player, and yeah, we'll all move on.
It's just the ex-manager in me coming out. As an ex-manager, you always love the dependable players, the dependable characters, the players that you know, rain, wind, or snow, it's going to be 6 or 7 out of 10. That's the benchmark for this player, because you don't have to walk into a game thinking, am I going to get the 8 out of 10 player, or am I going to get the 5 out of 10 player? So that's the manager in me coming out, where I really like a player like Greg, who is dependable in that you know what you're going to get every single time, and every single time it's something that you really get value out of. Get some comments coming in. Lewis says, all about ceilings, can't get too attacked if we continue to progress at this rate. We are like JD, Leeds sitting as top of League One as not progressive enough for Championship. Good luck to him. Earlier comment, we'll go back to Ipswich Town. Had a good evening, wonder where Williams will start. Where would you see him starting early doors before we come to the end of the show segment? Probably trademark by out and deck, so don't sue me.
The bench, I'll probably say.
Yeah, optimistic, Tom.
Yeah, optimistic as ever. Yeah, I mean, coming on for Leaf probably as cover when he blows after 70 odd minutes. But yeah, if he's going to dislodge one of the wing back positions, it will be Clark, and that'll be based on injury uncertainty. So if I'm being asked to pick a position, I'll be right back. But yeah, he's not dislodging Leaf just yet.
Yeah, Ben says right back. I probably agree with yourself as well. Right, Bridge of Lies is our end of the show. We always end it. It's I have played 4. I'll run through in a second. Here's our leaderboard. We've done 3 weeks so far. Obviously, this is only our 4th league game. Matt topped the leaderboard with 4 points. Rich in second with 3, and Ben, last week's contestant, with 2. It's very simple. Very, very simple. It's I have played 4. You have to start on one end of the board, which obviously Bilikowski and Gherkin, and go across to the other side and effectively score the goal. It's this good, this game, Tom. I'm thinking, actually, I know I can't sell it as a board game because it's already a TV show. Never mind, scrap that idea. Back to the drawing board, but I still like it. Bilikowski and Gherkin, one of these is correct. On each row, there is one answer that is correct, 2 that are lies. You have to avoid the lies. Bilikowski, Barnsley, Gherkin, Bristol Rovers. Which one is the truth and which one is a lie?
I think I'm going to stumble at the first one. Like some of the others, I feel more confident on. Right. Which one? So you want the lie, do you?
I want the truth.
You want the truth. I'm going to go for. I'll go for Gherkin as the truth.
You stumbled early doors, Tom.
Yeah, I thought it would.
Bilikowski, Barnsley. Gherkin played with Bristol City, not Bristol Rovers. That's why I threw that in there. A red herring. We'll move on. We'll go on. We'll have a look. Kenlock in Southend, NTR Hartlepool, Bree and Portsmouth.
So you want the truth. Let's go for... Where did Kenlock go? Let's go for NCR Hartlepool.
Boom. You're off and running. It obviously won't count on the leaderboard, but you're off and you are running. Toto is true. Judge, Notts County, Shalabar, RC Lens, Downs, Watford.
Judge.
Correct. Elder, Macclesfield, didn't play left midfield, but I was trying to use some of the team that played in the last Leeds game. Skews, Bristol City, Dazelle and Luton.
Skews.
Correct, Mundo. And then we've got Colin Quaynar, Fortuna, Düsseldorf, Do, Harrison, Accrington, Stanley.
I can't remember Harrison. I know he was at Pompey. Let's go for Harrison.
Sorry, it's incorrect. Colin Quaynar did play for our friends at Fortuna Düsseldorf. So there we go. Boom. You didn't do great. I'm going to be honest. I can't sugarcoat it. But hey, you gave it a go. You put your best foot forward. And we'll end with a question. 79 caps. Can we talk about how everyone didn't like Jackson, but it's probably one of the most, I don't like the word hated. No, just didn't like Jackson. But it's probably one of the most needed subs in Championship. His pace and decision-making is needed now. Any quick thoughts on Caden before we depart?
Yeah, really happy he's still around. Obviously, it's his last season of his contract with us. So, yeah, could be a good last Championship season, or he can keep surprising everyone like he has done, get his head down. McKenna loves him. So, yeah, I hope he has a great season, and whatever happens at the end of it, I think everyone will be better for it. But, yeah, really, really, really glad he got his goal as well early on. Yeah, it was good to see. And he does work his absolute nuts off every game. So, yeah, pleased for him.
Okay. Perfect. Absolutely. We're back on Friday, 8 p.m. for the Friday night show. We'll look, obviously, hopefully have some stuff on JD's injury, Broadhead's wrist, Brandon Williams. If he signs before then, I'll try and do a show so we can get some live comments from the fans in regards to what they feel about it. It's not come through in the last 45 minutes, I'm afraid. The club just haven't decided to pull the trigger. They probably will the moment I end the show, but there we go. That's the way that goes. But he is the big fish, Tom James. I am the Gov. This is Talking Town. Smash the likes target. Become a Talking Town fifth fan today and support the platform that is for the fans, by the fans. We'll catch you down the road. Yeah.